Warp Talons are those raptors so exposed to the immaterium they've been warped entirely into different beings altogether. They are trapped within their armor forever, and their jump packs mutated beyond all recognition, letting them jump from the warp at a moment's notice. Hello everybody, I'm Spoons Rattling, and today we're covering the Warp Talons of the Chaos Space Marines. So, the Warp Talons come in, unsurprisingly, as more of an elite version of Raptors, and that's sort of communicated very well in their expensive points cost. 135 points for 5 is very expensive for what is essentially standard Marine bodies with some extra speed. They do cost, 45 points more than Raptors. They have movement 12, which is standard, toughness 4 standard, 2 wounds standard, 3+ save standard. The 5+ invulnerable save is nice, but they aren't durable, don't get it twisted. Leadership 6+ and an OC1, fairly standard. The eye save is nice, but nothing major. They have no guns, only melee weapons. Their warp claws are twin-linked at 4 attacks that hit on 3s at strength 5, AP2, and damage 1. A really fearsome melee profile that is good against just about everything in the game, though it will struggle a little bit without proper buffs against the likes of toughness 12 targets like Land Raiders and Imperial Knights. But anything below that they shouldn't have too much trouble with, specifically anything below toughness 10, and of course there are ways to buff their damage dramatically. Their ability is also really powerful. The Warp Strike, so anytime this unit at the end of the fight phase has destroyed an enemy unit and isn't in engagement range with any others, it can be placed into strategic reserve, effectively letting you jump on and off the board using rapid ingress with almost no counterplay, unless your guys bounce. So you do want to make sure these guys aren't bouncing, as they're very fragile, but this is a super valuable ability. And so, speaking of that, these guys aren't the most complicated units, but they're a unit that you need to know what they can take down. Don't have them, charging willy-nilly into a Land Raider or anything like that with no external buffs, as a squad of them could struggle to take that down, as they're only wounding on 6s. But with the right buffs, such as Slanesh from Packbound Zealots, that gives them lethal hits on a 5+. Or is it Khorne that gives them lethal hits? Either one is good, because twin-linked means they're wounding more efficiency, and the lethal hits, of course, gives them wounds, that they could be struggling to wound with that they're only wounding on 6s. So long as you keep that in mind, you keep them punching things that they will always, destroy. A couple things they're really good at. They're great at killing hordes, they're really good at killing Space Marines, and they're pretty consistent at destroying Terminator squads of 5-mans. Of course, 10-mans, they don't have the firepower to bring that down. But any buffs you can apply to them is very, very big. For example, if you could get extra AP, extra attacks, extra strength is the biggest one for them. They would be, laughing all the way to the bank. They, of course, really do operate on their own. They can't have leaders, so they work pretty well in any detachment, I'd say, with the exception of Chaos Cult, because they don't get anything there, and Deceptors is questionable, as they don't get anything really there either. However, as a whole, they function really simply. Shoot them at things they can, deal with, and they'll almost never die and will be a thorn in your opponent's side. Anyways, I've been Spoons Rattling. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.